Hello everybody, welcome to Episode 9 Strategic Analysis. This is a Haven retaliation. It's known to get quite messy. It's known to be very difficult on your soldiers because they like to die. But hopefully we'll make some smart decisions and we'll see if we can't do a decent job here, get out with all of our people, and hopefully rescue quite a few while we're at it. So, here we go. They make their lovely entrance, and we're prepped and ready to go. Alright, so here, got dropped in on top of this this container. So it's definitely a matter of trying to figure out, okay, what are our boundaries? Where do we go? It can be pretty challenging, especially on this particular kind of mission, just because, you see, okay, there's a guy to go rescue, but there's no telling how many Advent are hanging out near him or her. So first checking out my boundaries, seeing where I can go. Also looking for various areas of good cover. It's one of those things where you want to get out and you want to rescue all 13 if possible, but you also have to realize that that's pretty much impossible. I don't even know if you're playing on the easiest setting if you could do that. There again, does you no good to rescue 6 civilians but have all but one of your squad wiped out. So just starting a little conservative here, trying to get a little bit of a lay of the land, look for other good spots to go. Not really a lot of good options, so I went ahead and just overwatched him there. Also need to try to get out kind of in multiple directions, see what we can get to. Again, don't want to go too far, don't want to trigger more than one little pod. Average pod probably has around 3 Advent, and you don't want to sit there and get 6 or 9 all of a sudden activated on you. That's a fast way to get your squad wiped out. So again, trying to take everybody but the sharpshooters, kind of get them out kind of wide in different directions, looking for different places, looking for additional resistance operatives to go try to rescue. You sure don't want to rush headlong down the middle of the map on this one. So go ahead and set up my snipers here for some overwatch shots. Here they've got some nice height advantage, should help with some of their shooting later. And we've already lost one. It just god awfulness. Oh. Yeah, see, it looks like there's at least 2 in that pod. It's usually 2 to 3, depends. But there again, like I said, you don't want to end up activating multiple pods on you all at the same time. That's just a recipe for ugly. In that case, I like to go ahead and put snipers on long watch or overwatch, and then start moving people up, because I figure I'm probably going to activate a pod fairly quickly. If not this turn, then probably the next. Of course, as you're sitting there, trying to find decent cover spots, people are getting murdered. So you just do the best you can with what you've got. In this case, you can tell I'm trying really hard to find a good spot to sit somebody, but not a lot of really good options right now. So, I'm ending up taking very short, almost choppy little movements forward, trying to, stay in cover, trying to protect my operatives while yet still trying to get to those little rotating circles there and try to start rescuing people. Problem is, I guess literally unless you set everybody up on Overwatch and just run one guy out to maybe get everybody's attention, but that's a good way to get that guy killed. You just know you're always going to lose some resistance operatives regardless. The key is to try to minimize that number and hopefully, save quite a few. And that one dead. Looks like that same Mouton is just going nuts. And then here it's like, okay, our turn again. At some point, going to deal with the fact that, I won't be able to leave those snipers up there forever. But I also know I can kind of get far up, so in this case I'm thinking maybe I should go ahead and advance these guys a bit. so that they can be useful, hopefully, next turn.
Oh, crap.
See, in this case, that was a little too far. But fortunately, it's only a pot of 2, but it's also one that's just been absolutely devastating the resistance at this point. So let's go ahead and get them activated and see if we can't use our other guys. Do something useful in the meantime. Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of high cover available without setting my guys all right on top of each other, so that's never helpful. 34 is just terrible. Went ahead and went Overwatch. I think my goal in this game is not to take a shot any worse than 25%, if I recall. Maybe it's 35, I don't know. It's been a while. It's not like there's any point in not being loud, not drawing attention. So in this case, let's see. We're hoping maybe we can get rid of the cover. As we present him in Alakoom. Did not get rid of the cover, but at least damaged him. That's the problem with the full-size tree. Maybe plasma weapons might take that thing out. Not likely. Your grenades for sure. See, yeah. Trying to use any opportunity to get high cover and get next to...
terrible shot. But it's better than 50.
Yeah, in this case, see if I can't get a little luck. Do some good long distance sniping. Got really lucky there. Take every bit of it. Okay, oh, yeah. So yeah, so we still got that one left. Definitely want to be in high cover. Want to minimize my odds of getting hit by him. Obviously anyone I can get close to. In this case, I've chosen just throw out the Mimic Beacon, see if I can keep him from shooting other people. Given there's like 4 easy, maybe 5 easy targets right there. Keep him busy for a little bit and see if we can't, get some people saved. Fortunately, according to this game, he has to take the bait. Also, let me go ahead and wail on him, because that keeps him from worrying about what I'm doing and makes him just go straight at that. It did manage to survive the attack, so that's good. But it now unleashed, or at least, now we're close enough to see these guys going nuts. That's a squad of 3 or 4 in that little pod, so lets us know there's a lot of things we have to deal with right now. But again, that's pretty standard for this type of mission. Alright, so that's 1 with 3 down, so I'm definitely in the wrong direction so far, but trying to move up a little bit, trying to get good cover.
Wide open, 5 to 6, 40% chance to crit.
Yeah, definitely trying to have a good flanking shot here. Fortunately, the Mimic Beacon brought him out in the open. I was able to get a good shot off. Not enough, but it is what it is. Again, here it's very risky getting 2 people that close, because if he throws a grenade, then then this lights out for multiple. He's got lots of nice damage with the upgraded rifle. There again, that 2 armor definitely makes it much more difficult. So yeah, so now it's time to go ahead and run that other sniper up, because they're just too far out from everything. So we know we got these 3 here, and that's going on. But at least we got a couple that we're fairly close to. The goal would be to definitely, if possible, try to save 1 or 2 of these this turn. Same time, you've got to be careful, making sure you don't pop a bunch. In this case, it looks like there's a fairly good amount of cover in other directions that this one should be safe to go grab. Of course, you've always got to be concerned about the faceless.
You can actually probably do that in much better fashion.
But as you can tell, I'm still very trepidatious about not leaving them a chance to run away if it is a faceless. So I made sure it was within his first move range. At that point, probably just go on Overwatch, save the shot.
Alright, we'll get you around this corner.
Again, still looking for good cover opportunities, full cover if possible. At the same time, I know there's a lot of death and destruction going on. Unfortunately, the way he's situated, I can't. I would love to get right there to have the full cover, and no, I'm not obviously flanked by the other guys. So it's like, let's handle that, and then probably move out from there.
And come back around for security.
Yep.
Nice.
So ended up where I wanted to. Got the job done as far as freeing up the guy.
Bring you up to here.
But, you know, hate having to use somebody's entire turn just to do that, but that is what it is. And here, again, don't want to get too bunched up with my people. Also don't want to leave myself wide open.
Let's go this way anyway.
So it's a very, you know, when you're doing this mission, it's a tough combination of how far, how fast, versus how much risk are you willing to take with your troops.
I may have to just use him to go look for people.
And he's going to take out another one. Fortunately, the entire pod isn't shooting. I'd be in much, much more trouble with this mission, but... And of course, Central's like, people are dying. So I know, I'm trying. So there's a couple nearby. Of course, I also know that that Hectoid is offing people on the other side. You know, you got to try to figure out who's going to be best at shooting versus who's going to be best at trying to get around to people. In this case, knowing that they're probably slightly northish from here, definitely westish from here, at least I get the half cover, should be able to activate the guy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that one. Crap.
Then there's just a big group right there. So got that one free, got two more below, got one over there, got one beyond that, so there's still... Because that's the thing, I think if you count it, there's it says there's 4 left. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 that you can see in range just from this location. So it looks like the sectoids have killed everybody by them. Oy.
There's people who's right here I need to get to.
I think the problem is that doesn't allow me either. But, you know, you always have to just try. So I got that one, but not the other one, you know.
Okay, at least got one out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be very rare you're going to find a spot that'll actually release 2. Okay, yeah, so before I was counting, you know, 4, and, you know, I counted 4, and so now there's another one. So we know there's at least one faceless, for sure, in this group of refugees. Or resistance fighters, I guess. I mean, they weren't refugees until they got attacked. So...
Oh, I hate this. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you're just trying to find any good spot. You know, you're hoping at that point you've got enough of that circle to go ahead and free that one.
Good.
There we go.
All right, we got our 6. Now let's see if we can save some people.
We know that pot of 3 is over there. We know, just based on counting circles, that there's at least one faceless in the group.
Come on, so I can put you out here. Yes.
Got a nice Overwatch shot there.
Alright, yes they are. And not good ones at that.
Some terrible camera work.
Alright, there you go. That's why I kept you there. Oh,
He totally whiffs that, which...
I needed that.
You know, Overwatch shots are a lower percentage, but at the same time, you just really hate to see someone miss a wide open thing. Alright, so at this point, if I had been counting properly, I'd realize there's probably 2 faces involved. Because there was the 5 I've seen when there was 4. Because I know there's one to my right, I know there's one there, they just killed one. So there's 1 to 2 facelesses involved at this point. Definitely something to try to keep track of when you're...
That takes him down.
when you're doing this, when you're trying to rescue resistance operatives, because the problem is, if you, I think if you pay enough attention to it ahead of time, you can probably get an idea for how many faceless you're going to have on a mission. Always watch how many circles you can count versus what that little white number, in this case there's 1. I know you've got 1 right there by the pod, I've got 1 to my right side, which means for sure there's 1. Well, we rescued our 6 of 6, so that's the important part. We've achieved that much of the mission parameter.
Sounds pretty too. Alright, there's 3.
Well, we got that 2 armor, got lots of health. It's definitely going to take a lot of coordinated teamwork to try to take them down.
Don't shred. Hopefully I can do at least.
You know, here, because 6 max, you're definitely going to still have at least 1 left, so unless you crit, that thing is definitely going to still be up. Min rolls, of course, don't help the equation. Again, you know, have to be careful about how far out they are going to run when their turn comes up. Don't want to be bunched too tight, because I know the mech can drop grenades at a distance. And so, you know, try to keep some... Like here, you know, surrounding this big rock, be very unlikely he can hit 2, let alone 3 people with the grenades. But at the same time, you've still got to be careful. Because a well-placed grenade should get at least 2. So in this case, I felt it was a little close, but I was hoping to get enough damage down with his minimum of 5, take that one out, and not have to worry about that part. And he gets the 6. Exact middle roll. Yeah, not a great shot. Probably just go for the long watch. 29%. Ugh. Lots of damage, but no chance to make the hit. See, the concern here is that he would be flanked if the sectoid decides to run. Here, figure's worth going for. Maybe a little luck. Min rolls. The joys of the min roll, yes. Alright. So here comes this one. As expected. And another whiff. That sectoid is apparently very hard to hit. Must be that skinny, skinny body. Ugh. Hoping he'll resurrect, which is always your best bet. There you go. So if you can take him out before the zombie starts wailing on you, you got a good shot. Because all you gotta do is take the sectoid out, you take out the zombie without even having to shoot. Of course, sometimes the better situation is I maybe need to shoot the zombie and worry about the sectoid later. So unfortunately, not doing very good ammo management. Gotta figure out where to go. In this case, not a lot of options. So at that point, okay, do I need to try to move a little bit to get a good shot for the grenade? But the problem is I've still got that guy there. So a lot of times it helps to cycle through your guys, look for someone else who can maybe take a better shot. Maybe take care of the enemy that's causing you a problem. Since he was flanked, he had to move anyway. Let's see, I've got that mediocre shot there, great shot there. He does 5 to 7. I've got a 33% chance of, or I guess a 67% chance of managing that. In that case, we max rolled, so that was good. Now, given that we're down to pistol... Oh, that's right, it was a free reload. So in this case, we can do long watch. Yeah, with that guy, I'm seriously concerned about the faceless hopping down, then hopping up, and doing the big swipey. So at this point, it's literally just, hey, where can I possibly retreat him and save his bacon for a turn? Given that that protects me from being attacked directly by the sectoid and should be far enough away from the faceless, there's a good opportunity. So yeah, definitely try to get to a good spot. Definitely want to be far enough away from the faceless. I think that one just makes sense in this case. Just kind of reset him for later rounds. Again, still got to deal with the faceless, so try to figure out where's a good place to move. Also got to deal with the sectoid. His problem is I'm right in the middle. I'm an XCOM sandwich in an Advent bread, so
Might just be worth just putting you on Overwatch for now.
definitely trying to figure out what's the best option, given what I can do.
All right, he poked his head out. Yeah.
And that was lovely. That was lovely. So those sharpshooters on Overwatch can be very handy.
Mox can put some damage on. Nope.
Not surprised he missed. Looks like he pretty much just had structure to hit anyway.
Come on.
But that's also why I put this one on Overwatch, hoping to drop some damage. Also happened to miss. Not helpful when all your people miss all of the things.
Good.
The hope was that I was far enough away that he could only run. And that happened to be the case. So, because if he'd have been able to swipe Mox, I think he'd have done some serious damage. 4 to 6, right in the middle with a 5. Generally if you expect lower middle on the shot, again, you gotta like that shot. 100% in the face, very targeted. You almost think he missed, but he managed not to. Ay caramba. Okay, but that doesn't mean we're done by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely at this point, I've saved enough civilians. It's a good time to reload, make sure people are in good positions, reposition. There's no immediate threat. I know I have a circle to get there, so someone to try to rescue, but at the same time, probably worth waiting a turn instead of doing what I did.
Just in Really? Oh man, that's not fair.
Yes, in this case, you're like, how come I couldn't get that to work? Which I certainly was.
Alright.
So yeah, again, reload, reposition, get yourself in a good spot to continue forward, almost like it's a second half of a mission.
No, there's other stuff around here I gotta go shoot.
Because I know there's at least one more pod that I've seen doing things. So get people farther downfield.
Alright.
Get ready to see what we can see.
Only that one
In this case, we can't see anything, so we know we've got quite a ways to go. So again, reloading and repositioning, making sure everybody is as ready for the next fight as possible. Get him up to the high cover.
Look at all the squishy.
Big mess there.
No place he can go through.
Looking for a high advantage, not a bad idea, but unfortunately just no good options in this particular area.
As we continue to look for things that we need to pound in the face.
Then that definitely confused me as to how come I couldn't. That's probably a good indication that the thing's a faceless if you have to get on a certain side of the circle. Of course, then there was that massive stupidity right there. Yeah, everything about that was just wrong. That was a horrible tactical error. Don't do what I did, kids. It's not smart. Ugh. So, Trooper, Stun Lancer. Yeah, nothing fun to face there. Mox again, massive whiff.
Looks like yes, you did nothing. Looks like
The aim ability that I seem to have brought along with me was not spectacular. So, yeah.
do that.
So there we've got, at least a flank.
I really feel like I gotta put the 8 protocol up on her. Only chance she
At the same time, I have Guadalupe Chavez just completely and utterly screwed right there. So I think here the aid protocol was the absolute smartest move. At least give Guadalupe Chavez the opportunity to survive from my massive, horrible mistake of running around the corner into a pile of Advent. So, yeah. So here it's like, okay, I've got to take out 4 things in a hurry, and hopefully be able to run her the heck out of there. Fortunately, Mox hit a nice shot right there. Can't do squat. Might be a good time to move up if we can find a good spot.
Oh man. Oh man.
And now it's their turn, and we are in deep trouble.
Oh god.
Cannot believe ran that far. And that was absolutely awful. Wouldn't it? You know, you wouldn't think that stun lancers could move that far. It's absolutely horrible. Fortunately, Mox did not get knocked out like Elizabeth Davis did. You can see the carnage, but somehow he missed. So I'd say the aid protocol was a fantastic idea in this case. So in this case, you know, take the opportunity, go ahead and reduce the hit points. At this point, it probably makes sense just to take that one out. Yeah, all I have to do is hit that wide open target. Thank you. See? Nice flank, nice big crit. Now Mox has the opportunity to light him up like a Christmas tree. But unfortunately, it's not enough damage. This is where upgrading your weapons really comes in handy. Figure why not? I can't reload. So let's just get nasty with him. And swipe. There we go. Lucked out there for sure. Yeah, got that one there. I've got to get her someplace at least remotely safe. Because unfortunately I ran her right into the lion's den. Yep, she gets whacked. Unfortunately, you know, having run her in there like that, there was not a lot of options. Fortunately, she had enough armor to survive it. Does decent damage to the faceless. Unfortunately, it's more like a min roll. Not super helpful. So yeah, revive there. This is why it's super important to have your technicals with the ability to do a revive. Because otherwise, you know, my sharpshooter is just out the rest of the mission. So now she has a chance to possibly do something. Of course, I have to look at, you know, what my gremlin might be able to do, but in this case, I think take down the faceless is the #1 priority. Alright, so she can heal herself, which I think is wise. There you go. Spray it all over yourself. There you go. And that's another reason I like to put these on sharpshooters. If for some reason, you know, they can either run up and help a wounded ally, they can heal themselves if injured. Just seems to work well for me. So, in this case, I know I got people still down there. Want to try to move forward, but definitely keep high cover. Don't want to put myself in a poor position. More so than I've already done in this particular episode. So, yeah, he's got to reload. Probably heal. Just kind of get him back ready for the next round. Now he's got a much better chance of surviving an additional hit. That poor thing. It's just out there on her lonesome. So. Don't want to park next to the propane tank. That's not wise. At least get her some cover. Probably drop a grenade on his stupid little self as retribution for shooting her. So, but yeah, we're doing what we can. Unfortunately, 3 or 4 was 3. Just like, okay, who do we need to heal? Yep, let's do that. Fortunately, we got multiple charges. That's one reason you don't want to get your technicals with all the healing ability too far up front, but at the same time, he's got one of the better rifles. So, you know, keep him toward the back of your group, so that gremlin can do amazing things at a distance. You know, just trying to find ways to shoot that guy. And of course, he runs all the way over there. And it's on Overwatch. As if that wasn't bad enough already.
Back here. How do I get to it now?
Because at this point I've already taken lots of damage on my people. I've, I'm pretty sure I've cleared all the available...
Up here.
I mean, at least as far as I know, I've cleared all the available civilians, but he's my biggest priority at the moment.
Get lucky.
Try a little pistol shot.
Maybe not.
Again here, just trying to figure out where I can go. He's got a... there are lots of things that are blocking his line of fire, so if I can be smart about how I go, I can not let him see me since he's on Overwatch.
Let's just pop over here.
Got to make sure that he can't see me.
Oh, man.
And it can be kind of hard to find.
Come over here, then.
So we've got a dead resistance member there. Yep. Well, the problem is if you just run headlong, you end up with all your squad dead instead of just, some injuries. But the important thing, again, we got the 6. We'll pass the mission.
It's horrible, but if I can just hit for one graze.
In this case, probably should have went with that flash grenade.
Nope. Worth a try at this point.
Because then I could have moved other people up further faster. Think about what you got. Think about what you're needing to do. In this case, the flash grenade will take care of the Overwatch. Again, I'm having to just take absolute garbage shots at this point because he's in Overwatch and in a strong position.
He wants to move again.
So
There you go. Get that long watch shot. Come on, man.
there we go. Alright, so in this case, because I took out the last of the Advent, I didn't have to go worry about looking for an additional one. Okay, so civilian rescued 7. There was one somewhere else. Not 100% sure where, but somewhere else.
That's alright.
But yeah, this was a tough one, but, with some good strategy, a little luck, Predator armor, having a healing gremlin with multiple charges, plus the ability to wake up my unconscious sharpshooter. All that definitely helped in the end. So, definitely thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this strategic analysis, even though it was, it certainly showed you some things not to do. Don't run around the corner wildly trying to save a guy who doesn't want to be saved because he's a faceless. Oh, goodness gracious. So, okay, so this is about wrap up episode 9, strategic analysis. Thank you for joining me. I hope you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all good stuff. So, had a couple promotions to take care of. Fortunately, none of the wins.